Hello everybody, I'm USMC Doc 14. You guys have watched my videos before, and if not, this is your first time, let me give you a little bit of warning disclaimer. I do utilize some colorful vocabulary in my videos, so if you have small children, stuff like that, sorry. Anyway, it's snowing outside, so I don't have a damn thing to do, so I thought I'd do a couple of public service announcements today. Let me cover this first one. And what this one is getting trolled by law enforcement or morons. As gun owners and as gun rights advocates, one of the biggest fears we have is new laws getting enforced for covering stupid reasons. Now, these stupid reasons can be dictated by state and federal law enforcement, they can be dictated by the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms, but usually what they're caused by is fucking morons, okay? Now, one of our deepest, darkest fears as gun owners is getting busted in a raid for doing something illegal that we didn't know that we were doing. As a gunsmith, this is one of those things that I pay attention to. That every so often my spidey sense goes off and you gotta kind of pay attention to these things. Well, recently I started to get an email. And this email seemed kind of fishy, okay? This dude, Frank from New York, okay? Frank from New York sends me an email, and he says that he's trying to mill an 80% 1911 lower, and that he's mangled it, he's messed up, and he was wondering if I could help him out. So I went and I gave him advice on, different tips and techniques to mill an 80% 1911. Also, I even went and offered to buy his 80% his 80% receiver, depending on how mangled it was, because I can always weld it back up or see if I can repair it to the point that it can be an actual working firearm. Well, Frank went and said that he went and threw away his mangled receiver. That right there was kind of a first warning sign for me. That kind of brought up the little spider sense, Well, so I'm like, okay, maybe Frank is just not an educated gun owner. Now, as a gun owner, you guys need to be educated on your local laws. You need to be educated on your federal laws. And being as Frank is in New York, I know that he has a bunch more laws to deal with than most of the rest of us out there. So I educated him some more. Then Frank went and said, hey, why don't you finish the 80% for me? Now, I went and told him straight up, me finishing your 80% is illegal. Me finishing your 80% makes it a firearm. I'm not a manufacturer, so I can't do it. I can't even do little modifications. So, quick note, an 80% lower is an industry term. It is not a reality term. I've mentioned this before in other videos. 80% dictates that a company has manufactured a block of metal to a point that it is not a firearm, and the ATF does not consider it a firearm. You do this by submitting a sample to the tech branch. The tech branch of the ATF says, good to go, it's not a firearm, or it's a firearm, you need to put a damn serial number on it. End of story. So, but this changes at some point in the manufacturing. So if I go and I change something on an 80% that's already been approved by the ATF is not a firearm, I can make it into a firearm. The only way for me not to be able to find that out is by sending it into the tech branch and them saying it's not a firearm, or they're saying it is a firearm. That's it, plain and simple. So I explained this to Frank, that even if I go and I do minor modifications and I send it back to him, it could still be considered a firearm. Now, mind you, I'm in Virginia, okay? Virginia and New York have some very bad history with gun trafficking. This again brings up my who the hell are you, Frank? Questions in my mind. Because last thing I need is me to send back a finished or a partially finished or whatever 1911 back to New York, have it get x-rayed, have it get pulled as a firearm. Next thing you know, I'm gun trafficking pistols from Virginia to New York. Basically Bloomberg's wet dream all over again. So I explained this to Frank again. I explained to him it's illegal for me to do it. So Frank replies back that he would like to pay me $200 to finish his lower. Right there is a fuck you moment, okay? My reply back is, what agency do you work for? Because at that moment of Frank offering me money to finish a firearm for him makes him one of three things, okay? Law enforcement, a criminal, or a fucking moron. Or all of the above, okay? And I explained this to him in pretty much those words. Well, Frank replies back that he's not blah, 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 law enforcement, and he deals in bitcoins. Once again, another warning sign. Fucking bitcoin motherfuckers. Anyway, and that he can no longer own a firearm because he smoked pot, which is bullshit because it's a fucking misdemeanor, Frank. I don't know about New York, but anyway, I know that the dude was full of shit. So what I'm pretty much figuring is, once again, Frank is either law enforcement, a criminal, which he admitted to, or a fucking moron, which I'm pretty sure he was, or the combination of the above. So anyway, I basically, in no uncertain terms, told Frank to fuck off. I also told him that if he emailed me back, that I would forward his emails off to whoever I find that I think would make it amusing. You need to do the same thing. You need to pay attention to who the fuck is emailing you, okay? Or who the fuck is visiting your shop. If somebody is asking you questions, first treat them as a novice and educate them. But if they just seem fucking stupid, sometimes you need to walk away because they could be setting up a sting. Like this email with some very Randy Weaver type shit going on, okay? And if you guys don't know about Randy Weaver and the two shotguns, you might want to research that. Anyway, you need to pay attention to your customer base, okay? Now, as a person on YouTube, I get a lot of exposure with my videos. And of course, I get a lot of emails and a lot of viewer questions. And I don't mind answering them. But once in a while, I get some really shady shit, okay? Some really shady fucking questions. And you need to nip that shit in the bud because it's either a sting or it's somebody who is an idiot or a criminal. And they're trying to find some half-assed way to skirt around the laws that you and I have spent so much time to try to get fixed, okay? They're just making your work harder. They're going and they're the reason why these laws exist in the first place, okay? They're the reason why people are trying to restrict 80% lowers. They're the reason why people are trying to ban this. They're the reason why the fucking 1986 machine gun ban came into place. Because they're criminals. They don't give a fuck, okay? They don't give a fuck about the long-term repercussions. So it is your job as the fucking gun owner to educate them or unfuck them, okay? And if they are law enforcement, treat them as if they're a fucking moron. Unfuck them. Because we got law enforcement, okay? This could have been NYPD. This could have been Bloomberg's Moms for Anti-Gun Blowjobs or whatever the fuck organization trying to troll me into making some sort of example for media. Okay? You don't want to be that fucking example. So you need to fix that shit, okay? You need to stop it. And educate them. Make them know that you know gun laws, okay? And like I said, if they're a law enforcement agency, what they're doing is they're being fucking lazy. They are creating a criminal instead of going after the real criminals, okay? It is easier to create a criminal than it is to go after one that already exists, okay? I can take an average Joe, okay? Average Joe Gunsmith Duracoder, okay? And I can go and give him a single barrel break open Stevens shotgun, okay? That's cut to 15.9 inches, okay? Oh, sorry. that actually would, yeah, that would be obvious. Sorry. I could go and take a shotgun, cut it down to 17.9 inches, okay? And give it to him to Cerakote. All of a sudden now, Joe Gunsmith is in possession of a short-barreled shotgun, okay? And gets busted. Because he didn't pay attention to this. If I get an item in that I think is questionable, it instantly gets tape measured before I accept it. Okay? If it is an NFA weapon, I ask to see the friggin' tax stamp, or I verify that it is a registered NFA weapon. Because I don't need my livelihood getting fucked up because of some mouth breather who wants to try to skirt around gun laws. Okay? And neither do you. You don't. Do you really know what I mean? You'd go to fucking federal, pound you in the ass prison. okay, for helping out one of these fucking morons. If they can't fix it themselves, fuck them, okay? Plain and simple. So, something to pay attention to, and my viewers, I want you guys to really pay attention to the emails you get in, and the questions that gun owners ask you, and especially gun shop owners, okay? If it is illegal, unfuck them, okay? And if you can't fix them, if you can't educate them, walk the hell away, okay? And if need be, report it to your local ATF branch. Make them do work. Report it to the fucking local law enforcement. Make them do work, okay? Because if not, you're just undermining yourself as a gun owner. Well, anyway, sorry for the long rant. Thank you guys for watching. Have a good day.